Students are individuals, so we need students to have individual strategies and individual preparation that will really enhance their score based on their own abilities. So, that's something that if you do feel that you're struggling and your strategies are not working out for you, and like say you're not finishing questions or you're not able to complete certain parts of an exam or certain parts feel too difficult, maybe you need to change something. And that's something that we really strive for with Curvebreakers, is having the students understand the exam and having the tutors provide them with something that is beneficial to them as an individual, and that's going to work. You can't put a square peg in a round hole with test prep. You need to really look at what you have and where we need to go and figure out a plan to get there. So that's what really this is all about. Like I said, practice tests are a big part of that, because that lets you continually analyze your performance and see where you need to improve over time. So say you did a course of study for 4 to 6 weeks and you were like, you know what, I'm going to take another practice test, and you say, I really improved in geometry and algebra, but my trigonometry is still really struggling or lagging behind, or I did very well now on verb tense questions because I studied hard on that, but I'm still struggling on punctuation. So it'll really show you what you need to work on, patterns and trends, and obviously you need the data from a company that will provide data with the practice test. We do that, so all of our students are armed with the information, and the tutor is armed with valuable information, rather than just you got a 1200 on your practice test. We can say, you got 20% of the coordinate geometry questions right, but you got 100% of the trigonometry questions right. So you know what? Next week we're going to focus on coordinate geometry. And that's really how you get students a great score rather than a mediocre one. So taking the real exam. Now that we've done this preparation, we've spoken about practice tests, we've figured all that out. Big mistake, cramming the night before the test. Do not do it. It's just not effective. You want to feel prepared. If you don't feel prepared, then you should prepare more for the next test, and make sure you're not cramming. 2 nights before, I think, is acceptable. We do a crash course for our students at that juncture before an exam, because that is a way to refresh your strategies. Make sure you don't miss any easy questions. Get all the grammar rules and math formulas in your head, 2 days before the exam, give you confidence that you're going in there with the right strategies. I think that's great. Another huge thing, bring a water bottle and a snack. I mean, so many students run out of steam at the end of the test for no good reason other than that they didn't eat breakfast and they have no food in their stomach, and it's 1 o'clock p.m. and they're kind of just dying out. You really need to give yourself that energy. Don't change your eating habits the day of the test. Just kind of make it a regular day, as much as you can, make it a regular day. Another couple of important points, try to not study in your room before the exam, because it's too comfortable of an environment. It might be too quiet. It's better to study maybe, in a library or a cafe or, a coffee shop or, your local test prep office, because that has some ambient noise where you can get used to that, because the real test is not going to be complete silence. So very, very important to think about that as well. And here's just a summary of the plan. So you take your diagnostic, you formulate your plan, you do your tutoring, your practice tests, you take your real test. If you need to do more and tweak more, you can do that, and you repeat the process over and over, trying to change something for the better each time you take the exam. So that's really another important point that I'll make on this slide, is that you need to change something to get better. So more practice is great, but adjusting your strategy for the better and understanding the test more, that's how you're really going to improve your score. So you don't want to just drill yourself with a million questions. That's not an effective strategy for improving your score past a certain level. That'll get you somewhere, but it won't get you all the way where you want to be. Okay, so the science section. One of the big differences between the test is the ACT does have the science section. That is one of those kind of hate it or love it things. I mean, I actually love it. I think that's a very easy section.